Hey everybody, it's Galmadex, and welcome to my final attempt at the Duskmourn House of Horror Arena Direct. This one has really put us through the ringer this time around. We got one super sweet sealed deck, just couldn't quite make it, had a pretty bad mulligan decision, one of those games that maybe cost us the boxes on the whole run, because that felt like the deck that had the highest chance of getting us in. The other runs have been pretty crushing defeats, honestly, running into just some incredible rares, but we've got one final chance here to have a shot at breaking through the opponents here and maybe running away with this with just a couple booster boxes. So, fifth time's the charm. We'll find out today as we bust open these packs, see what we get to play with today in the Duskmourn House of Horror Arena Direct. Oh. Well, we have two rares. We have Fear of Missing Out and Undead Sprinter. All right. Let's check out each color individually and see what we've got here. Keys to the House are very mediocre fixing, but technically if we really want to splash a ton around, they could be okay, especially in a color that cares about Delirium. We are putting an artifact into the grave with that. We've got a Glimmerlight here. That's solid for any deck. We have Valgavoth's Lair, double Terramorphic Expanse for 3 Terramorphic Expanse style duels, which is nice. I guess those aren't technically duels, but fixing lands. So that's pretty nice. We've got a black-red duel, blue-red, white-black, blue-whites. There's one Fear of Infinity if we go blue-black, 2 black-red cards, Disturbing Mirth and Undead Sprinter that are both pretty good, and 1 Gruul card, the Beastie Beatdown. So Rakdos is the most exciting based on the multicolored spells, but that's about it. So I guess technically, I mean, I haven't seen Hollowed Haunting enough to actually know if this one is playable, but I just kind of assumed it wasn't because it's a big expensive enchantment. But technically, we opened up a decent white sealed pool to go with it. So for 4 mana, it doesn't do anything immediately, but then for the rest of the game, anytime you cast an enchantment, you get a spirit token, and all the spirits are equal to the power and toughness have power toughness equal to the number of spirits you have total. So if I play this first and then I draw Trapped in the Screens, Fear of Surveillances, and Surgical Suites, this could be okay, but it does need a secondary color with a lot of enchantments here because with only 5 other enchantments in the deck, this card's going to be really inconsistent and quite mediocre. So that'd be if we run every single white enchantment in the sealed pool and we have a secondary color with a lot. So we'd ideally, maybe our blue has like 5 or more enchantments, and then maybe we get to play with that. It's not completely unplayable. I did, kind of jokingly completely brush it aside, but it is pretty unlikely that we will have that. But we'll see. That would be the biggest reason to play white. Other than that, there's great removal, double Trapped in the Screen, and a Seized from Slumber, and some solid creatures. So white is a fine color. Blue, we do have... Okay, we have Fear of Falling, Underwater Tunnel, Bottomless Pool, Stay Hidden, Stay Silent, the Mind Skinner, and Fear of Imposters, and double Glimmer Burst. Okay, those are enchantments, but not enchantment spells. We could do some blue-white nonsense. Technically, Mind Skinner as well could be playable, but triple blue is very hard and sealed. But if it does hit your opponent multiple times, you can mill them out and win the game. The issue is this format is like a really removal-heavy format, so I think it's pretty easy to just stop the Mind Skinner and make it super mediocre. Sometimes if your opponent gets hit by it one time, that's just a benefit for them. There's reanimation spells and delirium spells. So again, a card I did not mention in the rares for humor, but it is technically sort of playable, maybe. So blue-white is something we could sort of try a little bit. Be kind of inconsistent. For our black, I'm not loving this. Wow. 0 removal spells? It's a Stick Twister. That's pretty good, right? Okay, black kind of sucks. I'm sorry. I don't even have anything nice to say about this. It just sucks. I'm gonna move on to red. Red also has a pretty bad curve. I have 1 1-mana creature, 1 2-mana creature, and 1 3-mana creature. At least I have a Glassworks for removal. Our 5-drop's pretty good with Horde Caller. That's nice. I've got a Fear Missing Out. That's nice. Red's fine. Kind of comparable to the blue-white. Green has some very solid fixing. 2 centipedes and 2 moldering gems. So some kind of deck with green at the core, splashing everything in could be the strat. 2 centipedes, 2 gems, and an overgrown zealot. I don't even have anything to splash in, though. There's like no power in this sealed pool at all. Right? There's just no point in splashing here. Unless I want to try to do 5-color Marina Vendril. Is this really my life? Is this how I have to end the Arena Directs of this format? It would be a fitting end. I don't think our black is good enough to just go for some streamlined black-red snack undead sprinter aggro deck. Like, the cards are just so mediocre. The curve is non-existent. I only get to cut 3 cards here. I can play a Glimmerlight. There is that. I can play a Friendly Teddy if I absolutely have to. Yeah, this just does not look particularly powerful. There's so much filler in here. And I'm running a Cackling Slasher, for God's sake. If I cut the Slasher and like all the skulls, I'll have to run like a Friendly Teddy or something in here. I feel like I am just not excited about this deck. There's one removal spell in this whole deck. One Glassworks. I'm not happy right now. I'm very not happy right now. Kind of have to play white, right? That's the only place our removal is. We have 2 trapped in the screen and a Seize from Slumber there. Blue's got a Stay Hidden, Stay Silent, and a Vanish from Sight. I mean, it's just blue-white, is it not? The only thing green has is fixing. It doesn't even have removal spells of its own or bombs of its own or anything, so we would be playing green for a bunch of mana fixing to be in Bance, but I could just be blue-white at that point without running the green fixing. Yeah, I guess just an awkward little blue-white deck that's really hoping to hit the right stuff at the right time to go with the Hallowed Haunting. Gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not just gonna concede before I even try. So it's the most reasonable looking deck that we have access to. That's the deck we'll play. The triple fixing spells are actually pretty good because we have the Mind Skinner in here where we're trying to hit triple blue. So helping that mana out is going to be pretty important. I have 12 enchantments outside of the Hallowed Haunting, so I think I do try to get that to work. Got a few cards here. I'm going to need a lot of room in my non-creature slots, so I don't think I have room for the combat trick. Because I need to run all my removal and all my rooms and stuff. Yeah, I really want to run the Glimmer Bursts too. They also sort of count as creatures. Probably cut Savior. Curve stops at 4 mana here. Got the 3 fixing lands between Double Terramorphic and Valgavoth's Lair. Sure. 16 landed again. Or I just cut like a 3-drop Cult Healer or Fear of Imposters or something. I really don't want to cut an enchantment here, which means that I've got 13 enchantments to go with the Cult Healer for a lifelinking body. Maybe one of the 2 Glimmer Bursts or one of the 3 Twist Realities, but I'm going to cut a land here. Cut 1 Plains. Alright, last chance. We'll see if we can't get some Mind Skinner or Hallowed Haunting nonsense. At least it's kind of a spicy, unique build. I don't think I've ever done Mind Skinner or Hallowed Haunting before, so it'll be cool to see if these actually do anything for us today. But fingers really crossed here. This will be our final run of the Duskmourn Arena Direct. So without further ado, let's hop into the gameplay and take this deck as far as we possibly can. Here we are on the play with a genuinely great start here. If we can get this Patch Plaything to end up in our graveyard by trading off into any removal or creatures, that will be absolutely beautiful. Because Surgical Sweeping back the Patch Plaything makes it a 4/3 double striker instead of anything better. Yeah, Researcher, so I hit for 3 next turn. I don't need to immediately Surveil. Cool. Could either hold off their Fear of Surveillance or smack for 3. Let's get aggro here with a Surgical Sweep kind of hand. I think we played aggro. Bash in for 3. Let the damage bounce around. Oh, no. Fear of Surveillance Ethereal Armor is an absolute nightmare if you don't have a removal spell. We have a lot of removal in this deck. We have to draw into it. Not a lot of removal by average sealed standards, but in this sealed pool, this is the maximum removal deck we can play. Stay Hidden, Stay Silent, 2 Trapped in the Screen. Vanish from Sight, a Seized from Slumber, a Bottomless Pool works too. Yeah, that's quite a bit to try to draw into here. At least we get them to kill the Plaything here, I guess, and we can Surveil towards removal. There it is. There's a Trapped in the Screen. I'll keep the land as well for Fear of Falling. I don't know if it's worth the Plaything chump, though, even with the Surgical Sweep in hand. Okay, if they're not going to offer it, then I guess not. Ooh, they're stuck on mana? Still 2 lands? If this resolves, we might be golden. It resolves. Yeah, that's the land I surveilled there. We keep it. They take it all? Okay. Maybe stuck on mana and we get a freebie here. Still on the 2-lander there. Pretty brutal time for our opponent, but I will take absolutely anything I can get in these Arena Direct events, especially because we have had such a rough go of it this time around. We're probably... I think I only have like 2 more wins than losses, if that. We might be 50-50 right now this time around. Surgical Sweep's an enchantment hitting the board, which means it's lethal. Oh, I could also just unlock the aquarium and that would work too. Alright, cool. But yeah, we were like 3-2... No. It was like 2-2, 4-1, 2-2, 0-2? That sounds like 50-50. Maybe a little bit higher. I don't know. It's been rough. But that's 1-0 to start this one off, so maybe we can improve that win rate with this final run. Here we are on the play for game 2. So I have the Researcher, and then I can Underwater Tunnel, hoping to surveil into islands for Mind Skinner. I could just Underwater Tunnel turn 1. Yeah, I need lands bad enough. I should probably do that. Not attack with Researcher on 3. Valgavoth Lair can be another blue source. I'm going to mill the Researcher towards more mana. Is turn 3 Mind Skinner unlikely enough to just play Researcher here? No, I'm going to gamble. If I play a turn 2 Researcher, it's not going to attack on turn 3 anyway. It's just going to be sitting there. So I might as well see if I can hit the island. If I do, though, against Boros, Mind Skinner's probably dead. Scorching Dragonfire, Trapped in the Screen. There's lots of perfectly efficient removal they could play. Grab the Prize as the play for the turn. Discard 1, draw 2. Pick up Glimmerlight. Let's get a Plaything down. Slapping a Glimmerlight onto that is quite scary. The Norn that can't block. So far, so good for Plaything. Ethereal armor on the Norin. Lots of ethereal armors today. That is the Mind Skinner mana. So I could mill 4 off of this attack. 20 is less than 29 though, so I kind of want to just jam maximum damage off this attack. Well, I could also like hit for 4, make a 3/3. Instead of hit for 6, make a 1/1. Yeah, hit for 4, make a 3/3 feels better than hit for 6, make a 1/1. We'll just go for like legit damage here. And if they manage to stabilize through all of the normal damage, that probably is going to mean they spent some amount of removal on these creatures. In which case, we have the backup plan of a Mind Skinner when maybe they're out of removal. And then just get a few swings in with this to get the kill. I don't want to like run this out and end up milling them a little bit and then having them kill this, and it's like, well, we dealt 0 damage to them that whole time because we were on the mill plan. Okay. Unsettling Twins. Definitely a blocker here. Glimmerlight and Stalked Researcher. I want to equip Glimmerlight pretty bad. I can't equip Glimmerlight and play Mind Skinner in the same turn here. I'm equipping it to the 3/3 instead of the Double Striker, because if I equip it to the Double Striker, they can still double block it, and I only kill one of those 2 creatures. Okay, cool. We deal 4. Play Researcher. The awkward part about Researcher is it makes me maybe want to play Mind Skinner so it can attack, but then I won't deal any damage to them. Instead, I mill them. So it doesn't like help me get that last 12 in, it just helps me start milling. Okay, Infernal Phantom's the face down. Not super worried about that. It's got a good death trigger to get rid of our Plaything. But that's 1 blocker up. Down to 14. Twist Reality. No Eerie trigger this turn then. Yeah. No Eerie trigger, hold up Twist Reality, seized from slumber. I could seize the Phantom, then they just kill the Double Striker anyway and take 5. So I'd rather, I think, force them to block with it. The awkward part is in order to hold both of these up, the 2 and the 3 mana, I can't move Glimmerlight around right now. I guess they could choose to have Phantom kill the 4/4 instead. Okay, I've got the Turn Insight out for that. So I'll do that. So they only kill Plaything or only kill the 4/4. Okay, kill the Plaything is the choice. I guess I probably still should have just moved Glimmerlight around for the big attack, because the odds of me wanting to seize from Slumber Norn are so low because it can't block anyway. And I can't seize an untapped creature for 2. Another Phantom? It's actually super annoying. Oh god, plus Ethereal Armor? So it's going to be a first striking 4 power blocker. And if I seize from Slumber it, it's going to deal 4 to my 4/4 and kill it. If I seize from Slumber Norn, then it's now a 3/4, right? Yeah, it'll be a 3/4, and then it can't block the 4/4 without dying. Yeah, so I actually do seize Norn. Because Seizing Phantom causes its death trigger, and it'll be a 4/5 even without the Eerie trigger right now, and a 4/5 would still just eat my 4/4. So let's get the 4/4 to trade into the Phantom here, and then awkwardly, I guess we're starting to mill them now. Oh, we deal damage, okay, on that one. This is what's so awkward about Mind Skinner, right? Like, they're at 8. If I play Mind Skinner, none of my creatures can deal damage. I'm only milling them. But Mind Skinner will also mill them in like 2 turns. I should have flipped this up and surveilled. And had it been untapped as well. That was a miss, for sure. Alright, I'm going to do it. Alright, I 100% should have surveilled there, because I didn't have anything else for my mana. Fear of Surveillance, okay. Yeah, we just attack with Mind Skinner twice and just jump a couple times, and we'll win. That mills 22 cards. They will have drawn their whole deck by that time. Glimmer Burst is a good draw. Get the Eerie trigger. Mill a little more. I should have flipped it up again for Vigilance. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm genuinely so bad. Yeah, it's safer to just hold that up as a blocker than attack in. But yeah, if I gave it the Vigilance, then I could have attacked all 3. Okay, mill 14. Oh, they got a Toby in there, Ghost Vacuum. Fear Burning Alive killed Mind Skinner? That's rough. I would be literally dead if I attacked with my face down. So at least I didn't do that. And I couldn't have had these up because I drew them off of my 4 mana spell. Surprising attack by Fear of Surveillance. I will eat that up all day. Okay, at this point I've been stupid so long, I'm just going to finally flip that up so I can't mess it up. Definite keep. Go to 4, they're playing off the top. I've got double counter spell. Although Fear Imposters is a pretty bad counter spell, they get a 2/2 out of it. Just reality that. Threatening enough. The attack would mean lethal because they're trapped in the screen off the top. We're going to draw a card. Trapped in the screen, the only blocker. Hit for 4, and we will be 2-0 here. Could play that as the 3/2, but it doesn't matter. It's the kill either way. There's the concession from our opponent. We are 2-0 heading into Game 3. All right, luckily on the play again here for Game 3. We will keep this. We have the Researcher to start it off. Double blue Twist Reality, so let's Terramorphic to the blue immediately. Get our tap land out of the way. There's another Terramorphic on top. It's so funny how it always shows you the top card when you do that. Like, I don't want that information. I don't feel bad when it's a good card. Use your Terramorphic Expanse, your Overlord's on top of your deck. Oh god, turn 2 Arabella from our opponent. That is a very threatening card. Can't attack into the Stalked Researcher well. I don't mind running out another one here before we play any enchantments and then having the double trigger later. I do have the stay hidden, stay silent to lock out that Arabella if we want to do that on a later turn. Get the researchers attacking in. Okay. I'm going to hold up Twist Reality. We have the Glimmer Burst if we don't need to cast it for an alternate line. And then if I play this next turn, I can Twist Reality and stay hidden, stay silent in the same turn. Maybe start beating down with the stocked researchers. Okay, this is going to be some kind of trick to kill a researcher, I'm assuming. Let's see. We've got the Twist Reality. If so, they'll need double trick. Dragonfire, no thanks. Twist that reality in our favor. Alright. They've got a 1 red mana spell, potentially. Doesn't make a ton of sense, because if they had the 1 red mana +3/+0, they would have cast it there. Well, that would only be 5 power, but they'd still kill 1 researcher and manifest. I feel like they would have cast it that turn. Might try to see what other red instants are in the format. Do I really want to stay hidden in Arabella? It's the only removal spell in my hand. I guess not yet. I'll hold 1 researcher up and draw here. Okay. That's pretty good. Probably send both in since I've got that coming up. Actually don't mind bouncing Arabella right now, even though it's one like unnecessary Eerie trigger. It's good for the tempo of this game to get that Arabella back in their hand, force them to recast it. They don't get any life drain this turn. Like, I can still just stay hidden something or unlock the locker room. Either way is going to get the researchers attacking in again. Mountain Cycle cast Arabella? That'd be a great turn to just unlock a locker room. Draw a card off one of these. Yeah, let's go. Unlock a locker room, draw a card off one of these, or trapped in the screen, or stay hidden, stay silent, but I don't draw a card if I do either of those, so I'll save those for the next couple turns of Eerie triggers. Boom, that's an Eerie trigger. Whenever 1 or more, so I only need to hit them with 1 creature to draw the card. So I'm not going to send the Glimmer token in to guarantee a draw 2 or anything like that. Okay, they're down to 10. There's Unsettling Twins. That's quite a roadblock for us. Arabella is going to go for the life gain swing, which will give us a very clear path. Oh my god. That's actually so good right now. Because I have 2 more enchantments in hand here. And making flyers with a locker room on board is insane. They already just go chump chump on the researchers at best. Get the card draw here and see what I want to do with my removal after that. Yeah, so they're going to let me draw 1 and kill 1. Seems good. Cool. Whenever Arabella attacks specifically. So, yeah, we'll just keep Arabella tapped then. Okay. Oh, they aren't flying spirits? Oh, that's already infinitely worse than I thought. They're only flying if we have 7 or more enchantments. Okay. Razorkin, sure. Glimmerlight already triggers Eerie, doesn't trigger Haunting. I'm fine to Trapped in the Screen to Razorkin. Probably should get the extra Glimmerlight damage, even though I could wait to draw a card and see what it hits. because it's significantly more damage. Oh wait, no, these are power toughness equal to the spirits, not the enchantments, so it isn't significantly more, it's just a little more. Ah, we hit the counter spell though. So it would have been better to have the more mana up. Tragic. They are at 3. So we still feel pretty good here. Not enough to survive, okay. Terrifying deck from our opponent, but we're still 3-0 here. Hollowed Haunting is probably still worth running in this deck, but just a little bit. Yeah, the fact that they're not flyers is way weaker than I thought. If we get 7 enchantments on board, I guess they are, but that is so unlikely because the spirit clerics are not enchantment creatures themselves. Is it actually just better to run like a jump scare over this? It honestly might be. I mean, that game was kind of Hollowed Haunting popping off, and even then it was like, it was 2/2/2s for 4 mana. It was basically the 4 mana 2/2 dolls that manifest when they hit the board. And obviously if we top deck this in the late game, it's horrible. I do have 12 other enchantments. That's 12 is still only a little bit more than like 1 out of every 4 cards in the deck. So if I play this late, the Hollowed Haunting, it's like make a 1/1 once every 4 turns. And then like if there's 2 on board, then they're 2/2s. If they're 3 on board, they're 3/3s. I don't know. I feel like that's probably not actually good. I'm gonna run Jump Scare over it actually. Heading into game 4. Okay. We have both of our colors here. We have a Glimmerlight to put on a plaything. Turn 2 Fear of Surveillance. I like the opener. Valgavost Lair on white to start us off. Uh-oh. I have 2 double blue spells now. I did have 1 double blue spell in the opener. That was a little concerning, but I have 3 2-drops that are already castable. But drawing a second double blue spell, man, is getting a little more concerning. We are on the draw this time around. So that is not great. Playing against blue-red, and they've immediately got Silent Hall Creeper, while I'm immediately going to stay hidden, stay silent that. Because if it hits us 1 time, it's already a 2-for-1. They get to draw a card off of it hitting us, and from then on it gets better and better. If they have the card that lets them return it back to their hand, that's going to be brutal. And that card's just very good against enchantment-based removal in general. Clockwork Percussionist. Put us to 19. Fair. Land for turn. We did hit a blue source, so we hit the perfect 3-drop here. We're still early enough in the game. I'm pretty sure we're just supposed to be playing threats to the board instead of holding up a counterspell, because if I hold up a counterspell and they don't play anything good enough to counter, I'm just playing a 3/2. Yeah, I'm going to play the plaything. It's pretty strong, especially with the Glimmerlight in hand. They have the 2 mana count unless we pay 2. They do indeed. Oh, interesting. They had to specifically counter an creature or enchantment, and it could also put something back in their hand. So they chose to counter that instead of saving the Silent Hall Creeper from the removal. That feels fine. Soul Rager, they can sack a room to deal 2 to us and draw a card. That is very good with certain rooms. A double creature here to get some blockers going. Just running every counterspell in the sealed pool. We'll see. Do they want to counter Glimmerlight? Will they counter unless we pay 2? Nope. Cool. I do have really good blocks with Glimmerlight coming up because I can make this a 3/3. I can also play a Cold Healer as a 3/3. But I think Soul Rager is good enough to just try to get that off the board. Or get them to spend some combat trick or something here. Sure. They're down to 2 cards in hand. One of them's a Stock Researcher. Not terrible. Mind Skinner for our win condition here. At 17, they have one card left in hand. They could very well be on a removal. Glimmerlight this. I've got a 2/2 to block their 2/2. I take 1, maybe 4 if they play an enchantment, and then I just start milling 10 a turn. If this happens 3 turns in a row, I win. And after this turn, I get to hold up a counter spell to keep Mind Skinner out to get the mill 3 turns in a row. If Mind Skinner does get hit by a removal spell, it's still not the end of the world. The 1/1 we get that out of the way. That's genuinely terrible, though, that it's specifically a room, because now Researcher can attack, Soul Rager can shoot us with it, and Soul Rager can draw them a card. That's incredible for our opponent. That was either the last card in their hand or the top deck. Vanish from sight. It's pretty awkward, but it gives us something to do at instant speed outside of Twist Reality. They're down to 1 card in hand, though. If they resolve something good, I can vanish it. Next turn, I'm gonna get the Gold Healer down. 4/4 blocker. It's so hard this early with only like 4 mana to justify holding up the triple counterspell, or the 3 mana counterspell. Okay, now I have Glimmer Burst, Vanish, and Twist Reality. This is a super fair hand to be able to just hold up the counters. Even if we don't counter something, we start getting ahead with Glimmer Burst. Beautiful, beautiful. Land, actually still good. Another Glimmer Burst is wonderful. Quadruple blue is actually a thing. So I'm going to set that up for once I have 5 mana. Land. Opponent is flooding over there. We love to see it. Here's another Glimmer Burst. Okay, we've got a little bit of flood ourselves, but still have some spells to play with. I can now cast Fear of Imposters and Twist Reality. I really only think I need to hold up 1 counterspell. Is this a sorcery speed ability? Yes. Okay. I'll do that later. So once I have like 9 mana. Yeah, I guess next turn I'll probably make a 3/3 and hold this up. But I currently, yeah, I was going to say, I currently really need to counter like any room they play. But especially that one. Draw 3, discard 1, plus draw 1 off Soul Rager, plus tap and stun a creature for 2 turns. That one's super nasty. Ooh. Surgical Suite of Mind Skinner? Hold, okay. The fact that I can do that is really sick. That's so good. That's a 2-hit kill, pretty much. Because I have the Glimmerlight. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of that. That's quite good. That makes me really not mind just gaining a little bit of life to prolong this game off the attack here. They probably chump with Percussionist, but maybe I get to kill stuff. Okay, kill 2 things. Get the Percussionist trigger, sure. I could vanish Percussionist. That's kind of rude, but I really want to hold up the counterspell. If they play anything really good, manifesting won't be that bad. Wow, okay. Immediately exile Glassworks. Yeah, that's something really good, I would say. So we'll counter that. Give them the 2/2 instead. All right. We also have something really good on top. Trapped in the screen, trapped in the screen. There's the Glassworks. Give them the Manifest instead. Stock Researcher. Pass. Probably trap the Soul Rager in the screen and hold up Vanish from sight. Yeah, they already mill out in 2 turns. I don't need to unlock Hospital Room or anything. Mill 11. I'm not cracking Terramorphic Expanse because our top deck is another trapped in the screen. Megalodon, sure. 5/7 Vigilance is not going to kill me here. Chump. Take it too, that'd be fine. Get that last mill. Zero cards in their library. That is 4-0 for this deck right now, I think. It's at least 3-0. Our opponent's got a really nice deck. They had triple Glassworks to go with that room uncommon. Spicy, Chainsaw, Fear Burning Alive, Razorkin, Stay Hidden, Stay Silent. Yeah, really solid little blue-red deck there, but we had some really solid luck yet again, and that carries us to an undefeated run so far. Currently sitting at, drum roll, if you all forgot like I did, 4-0. No matter what, we are getting some gems back out of this event. Feels pretty good. This also means we've got a pretty positive record overall out of this event, because most of the really bad runs were like 2-2s. There was one 0-2 run, but we've made up for that now with at least 2 4-win runs. So see how far we go from here as we head into Game 5. We have Terramorphic Expanse for blue, towards Mind Skinner, and of course Fear of Falling. I think I have to keep this. I do not like being on the draw again. But that's the triple blue for the long game. Got the hookup here, mana-wise. Playing against a black deck. Blue-black. Paranormal Analyst is their first play. That's rough, because we don't have any removal for that right now. None of our exile spells. If they do any manifesting, they're going to have tons of cards over there. Draws them a card every time they manifest. Whatever they mill, they get to put back in their hand. Fear of Surveillance is the draw. I can cast that and set up the draw with Underwater Tunnel in the same turn, holding off for the late game Mind Skinner instead. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. The Surgical Suite to pick up a Mind Skinner is good. The Trapped in the Screen is excellent removal. I probably want to draw the Trapped in the Screen first, but then Surgical Sweep will be a fine draw later. The awkward part is because I still have a Terramorphic Expanse here, it's going to force me to not crack Terramorphic until I draw the card I want, which probably isn't worth it. We probably have to shuffle the Hospital Room back in. Ghostly Keybearer. Okay. Well, I could twist reality this turn and then trapped in the screen next turn. If they play anything that manifests, I can counter it so they don't get the value. And if they play any rooms to make Key Bearer better, I can counter that so they don't unlock the room here. But trapped in the screen also gives me a way better attack right now. So I just have no attack otherwise. And I've got a Fear of Fallen coming up eventually. I'm going to hold up a Twist Reality here. This could be wrong. Take 3. Sure. And they're just going to pass with all their mana up as well. Draw my Surgical Suite Hospital Room. Trap the Key Bearer. Can at least surveil with Fear of Surveillance. And that might hit something for Surgical Suite too. I'll keep that for Fear of Falling. Yeah, I mean, if they counterspell here, and that's no counterspell for them for the flyer next turn. It's awkward to post-combat the trapped on the screen, but I had to surveil to know that I was going to be casting Fear of Falling next turn. And that I would really want to just clear out a flyer. Give into Violence, gain a little bit of life. Yeah, you got it. I'm so chill with that. I'm so chill with that play from our opponent. Mill a land. There to 15. Opponent must be astronomically flooded here. They've cast 3 spells all game. Now I can Mind Skinner and still have Twist. No, I won't, because it needs triple blue. I need 5 blue to still have Twist Reality up. It's probably not worth it. We're probably just holding Twist Reality then. At this point in the game. Like, they've cast almost nothing here, and I can easily keep it that way. Now I can Surgical Suite that 3/3 instead. Okay, I can't easily keep it that way, right? If they cast 2 spells in 1 turn, then whatever. But I can easily make sure they don't play anything bomby, like a Mythic or anything. Because the odds of them playing 2 Overlords or something like that in 1 turn are pretty low, and that's about their only out at this point. With how far away things have fallen. Oh my god. Another land. Okay. Just holding up a Twist Reality and getting there. 2 more swings. I like that. Draw. Can Glimmer Burst in their end step now? Our opponent cast 3 spells in the entire game, a game that lasted long enough for us to both be probably like 20 cards deep into our deck. That's so absurdly lucky, but it takes us to 5-0 here, where at the very least we get our entry fee back this time around. Feels pretty good. Is this arena matchmaking at work? 0-2 into 5-0? Taking pity on us? I don't know. Hopefully it is. Fingers crossed, because now we're in the final bosses here, and we have 2 rounds in the chamber, 2 shots to win some booster boxes of Duskmourn House of Horror. We just need to win 1 of the next 2 games. So fingers really, really crossed here that our good luck doesn't catch up to us and we start playing against the big bombs and everything. But Who knows what'll happen here? You never know. It's time to head into the final battle. Unfortunately, we're on the draw for about the millionth time. But I get to play a Glimmerlight and then just hold up Twist Realities for a bit, so I don't think this is a mulligan. It's also literally perfect mana. I mean, whatever sources we want here. So I'm going to keep. Okay. I'm going to start thinning some lands out of the deck, I think. Make it less likely to top deck more mana. I'm grabbing a white source. We're infinitely more likely to draw like one white spell than we are to draw the Mind Skinner, which would be the only reason to immediately grab blue mana. I don't know why I layered over Expanse. It doesn't really matter. Okay. White's best rare has landed, and they're on the play with it. Super, super threatening. I think we probably have to just trap the 4/4 in the screen. I could try to deal with the 1/1 body, and then this can't attack till they play more creatures. But I think just guaranteeing that the 4/4 is not something we have to deal with is just better. From a Selesnya deck on the play, it should be really easy for them to just keep following up with just any random mediocre 2-mana 2/2 or anything to keep that damaging us. Toby, I think, is the strongest highest win rate rare in white. Not the highest win rate mythic, they've got the white overlord, but the highest rare. Because it is a massive 2-for-1. You play it and like, I really have to kill the 4/4, so they just get to keep this 1/1 no matter what and rip removal out of my hand. That's so tragic. I drew the bottomless pool where I could have just bounced the 4/4 with bottomless pool. That's so disappointing. Yeah, that's pretty insane. I likely have to just hold up the Twist Realities here and take 5 for a turn. Because next turn, if I turn Terramorphic into a 3rd blue mana, I can cast Bottomless Pool and still have the Twist Realities up. Or if they do something where I don't want to Bottomless Pool, I can also just hold up a Vanish from sight. Okay, blue. There's a Fear of Imposters. Okay. So we bounce a Cautious Survivor, hold up a counter. No play for all that 5 mana. I'm really happy with that. That buys us a little time to draw some more mana of our own. Take another one, because Toby is goated. Down to 13. Cast a Survivor, we'll counter a Survivor. Land. It is awkward, actually. I did realize I'm just going to want to draw more lands till I have like 6 mana so I can play spells and hold up Twist Reality. 28 cards in their deck, 3 Mind Skinner swings to kill them. They haven't had to spend any removal yet, though. Just don't think we're actually getting removal in, or we're getting the Mind Skinner in. Glimmerlight blocks Toby, but like I need another mana to be able to play it and hold up Twist Reality. I could skip one turn of Twist Reality to just eat Toby with a 3/2. Which honestly doesn't seem horrific, because I have Vanish from sight if they just resolve like a good creature here. Okay, Possessed Goat is not a good creature. Bashful Beastie is, so we'll Vanish Bashful Beastie. Take a hit for a turn to establish a board here to hold the goat off of us. A Researcher and a Glimmerlight. This could get them casting removal. Yeah. I think that's fine. Again, my initial assessment of wanting to Terramorphic before all the Valgavost layers has been woefully wrong. I actually really wish I had more mana. Not that it would have changed our draws really at all, because we had to do all 3 of them by now. So either way, we were thinning the lands out by this point. Ew. Okay. Unidentified hovership is very good removal, because it also gives them a 2/2 flying vehicle to crew, like with the goat or with any manifested card. But it did get them to spend removal before the Mind Skinner, at least, like we were saying. Discard a card, we trade into goat and the card they discard. I don't mind it. Yeah. Okay. There's the Seized from Slumber, but then they manifest off Beastie. I think we're saving Seized from Slumber for the hover ship, ideally. I have to take another hit from Beastie. If I want to hold up the counterspell, I do. I mean, I guess they move to main phase and I vanish then. I can't just vanish right now or Beastie goes back on top. They recast it before I have any mana up. I can't counter that. There's no way. Okay, this is going to be a Seize from Slumber turn. We're going to go to 3. Painful. I guess, here's the thing. I surveil one with Vanish from Sight. And if I surveil into a land, I can Twist Reality and Seize from Slumber next turn. I have got to get some tempo working in my favor. I have got to get some turns where I can double spell. I think I have to vanish here to buy the time towards that. I might have a +2/+2 combat trick or something like that. Some sort of instant in hand. Looks like Mill the Researcher for dang sure. I need the mana. We've played every tap land in our whole deck at least, so any land we draw is a good one. That's so painful. Okay. So this turn has to be Twist Reality on the Beastie. Take like 4 damage from Hovership if they have the combat trick. Do I even need the land next turn if I Twist Reality Beastie? Then I don't have a Twist Reality to hold up. So next turn's going to be Seize from Slumber. I could still use land to be able to play like Plaything and hold up Seize from Slumber. So I'm surveilling for a white source exclusively here. Humorous. Hopefully that's not too late. Take 2, go to 4. I mean, I have to Seize from Slumber now then, right? I guess even if I hit this land, I'm just holding up Twist Reality Seize from Slumber. But it's better to try to kill it now than later? I don't know. It's less opportunities for them to draw like the +1/+1 hexproof trick. If they have it in their hand right now, they would have it when I try to do it later. The Death Touch Indestructible trick, yeah, they would have had that this turn when I counter Beastie and Destroy Escort. I just think we missed way too many lands here. I'm not seeing a way to survive now. This hover ship just kills us in 2 swings. And had we saved the Slumber for the hover ship, they could have just killed us with Escort, or whenever they crew it, had the Vigor for that. 25 cards in deck, too. Mill 12. Go to 2. Okay, a go to 2, then mill 12. They have 13 cards. If I can find any way to live one more turn, we can win. Right now, if I just twist Reality the Beastie, I take 2, go to 2, take 2, die. With Mind Skinner, I have the tiniest chance in the universe of drawing perfectly and mill racing them. Oh, wait, no, I don't. I'm dumb. Our only play is to just twist Reality and then immediately hit straight gas, because now they just Beastie and crew the hover ship and attack with both. And that forces Mind Skinner to trade into Escort, and I go to 1. Yeah. Okay, double spell, I die no matter what I do. So you got me. I could have twisted Beastie, taken 2, go to 2, then they have an Exercise with an Escort and a hover ship still around. There's nothing I can do to survive that. My 1 blocker to play, the Plaything, just gets exiled. Unless I specifically went for the 3/3 manifested blocker. But even if I did that, they crew the hover ship and kill me with that. There was straight up no way to win that. Oh. Alright. What can you do? That was rough. I feel like if we just hit lands on curve just slightly faster, like we could have stood a chance there. But we missed way too many lands. Yeah, I'm still confident with this build. Gonna run it back. Here's the final battle. No more breathing room here as we head into the final boss. On the draw again for our most important game of the day. Feels pretty brutal, but we can't control that. They keep a full grip of 7 on the play. Grab a swamp. We keep this 7. We really need to draw more blue sources, but it does have both of our colors. Plenty of castable spells until we find that double blue. There's the second blue. Our opponent starts with Valgavoth's Faithful. Thankfully, we have a Trapped in the screen, so if they do reanimate something super scary early, it'll be fine if it isn't, like, literally Valgavoth himself. Good land draws here. There's the Withering Torment for the Fear of Surveillance. I don't mind countering that. Might be better to hold that for a scarier threat from them later, but I have it trapped in the screen for their first threat, and I have a decent little aggro curve here. I do have the Surgical Suite to pick this up, but I can also pick up stuff that it surveils, and I really want to get the surveil going. I'm going to counter that. Put the pressure on. If they're trying to counter that, then they probably don't have great blockers. If they're trying to destroy that, then, at least to me, I don't think it would make a ton of sense for them to immediately follow up with a great blocker, and then they immediately followed up with a great blocker, so I guess I just don't know how players play anymore. Exile that, keep it rolling, because the Fear of Falling curve out is legit. And that can get lifelink as like a 4/5 lifelinker every turn, which would be horrific for us. Glimmerlight. Glimmerlight's a fine draw. Post Fear of Falling nonsense. There's their own Fear of Falling. Wow, it really is Fear of Falling nonsense. Alright, well, if 2 players cast a Fear of Falling, the player on the play is the one who wins, so let's hope that does not stick true here. They've got Murder as well. I mean, if we didn't exile the lifelinker, they'd have hit us for 4 and gained 4 this turn, so I don't think there was really a better line we could have had currently. Maybe not Twist Realitying yet, but I still would have tapped out all these turns. Researcher and Glimmerlight this turn. I'll hold on to the Surgical Sweep for now, so I do have the option of doing that if I hit like the Mill Crab or something really good. Oh, Seize from Slumber's a good draw. I'll keep that. Two for that, 4 for Hospital Room. I'm going to hold this in hand just in case they play a discard spell, because I'm not going to draw another land next turn. I just need to play the 1 land for turn. Okay, Fear of Falling sends in. Oh, they do have the Faithful to just bring the Fear of Falling right back if they have the mana. Yeah, and they do have the mana. So we want to wait on the Seize for Slumber until they declare another attack, even if it does hold me off some amount of damage here. Hospital Room, so Researcher can declare an attack and we get a +1/+1 counter. This is also big enough to draw a counter spell if they have it. Removal spell on Fear of Surveillance. Put it on top or bottom of our deck. Sure. Probably bottom at this point. That's close, but I think we put it on bottom. Faithful back the Fear of Falling here. So it's still Fear of Falling versus our board. Both players playing off the top. Just see who gets luckier here. See who gets the boxes. Vanish from sight. Maybe we're the one getting luckier. If I do it now, they get to just immediately recast it. But I get 1 damage in. Wait till their upkeep, or wait till after they draw a card next turn. I feel like I wait till after they draw a card next turn. I could unlock the Surgical Suite just to attack with Researcher. That might have actually been worth it here. Put it on top, we mill a land. Trapped in the screen. Oh my god, we're getting so lucky. Yeah, I'm unlocking this for no value. I'm just getting a Researcher swing in at this point. Because then next turn we get another Researcher swing with a Trapped in the Screen. And that would be lethal. That's 5 damage out here. Hanging out. Oh my god, okay, recast Fear of Falling. Oh, baby. 2 mana up, final chance for our opponent to have removal. Good game? We got the boxes? Oh my god, that feels so good. An absolute nail biter here. I was going to do 5 Arena Directs exactly to get it on the very last one. Oh, that's sick. We got so lucky today, to be completely honest. we ran against so many opponents drawing so poorly. I mean, this opponent in our final game of Magic, I mean, they hit nothing for at least like 3 turns in a row, right? They had this on the board and a Fear of Falling. I blew it up. They reanimated it. They drew a card, recast it. I put it back on top. They drew a card, recast it, you know? Like, I had the Trapped in the screen. They had nothing else to play. I feel for our opponents because we had a lot of games like that in our earlier runs of these Arena Directs. But God, does it feel good to be on the other end of the table. 2 boxes of Duskmourn. Absolute nail biter. We're literally at 0 gems left. 240 gems, so I'm going to have to pay some gold until Aether Drift comes out for our next few drafts and hope to get enough gems from those drafts. The absolute nail biter. It waited as long as possible to give us the boxes. Because if we didn't win this time, I mean, that was it. It's over. 240 gems in the collection here. Ooh. So 5 runs. 5 runs at $25 a piece is about $125. So we got 2 booster boxes of Duskmourn for $125. Very good deal. Very, very good deal. It might have felt awful earlier when we hit an 0-2 and a couple 2-2 runs and stuff, and just like, I'm just sitting here spewing money, but all it takes is that one win within like 7 or 8 attempts, and you got a good deal on some Duskmourn boxes, so pretty happy with that. Sorry, my heart is pounding. It's like that anytime I win prizes. I've done it a few times. We've won boxes in 3 Arena Directs now. We won $1,000 in 2 Arena Opens. I day 2'd a PTQ. Like, I've played enough sealed to have ended up winning some amount of boxes or money in enough events that you would think it doesn't get to me anymore. But, I mean, there's really nothing like it, at least for me. Personally, when you do get the win, like, it's just such a mixture of like relief and just like, I don't know, the heart just pounds like crazy. It's like, oh my God, that actually happened. I thought I was super getting crushed here and this deck was horrible and stuff like that, but hey, it gets there. Such a surprising deck to get there as well. Super low like creature count here. The one quote unquote bomb is the Mind Skinner, and that's not even that great, because as we saw, it's so easy to remove. Every removal spell in the format can kill a 1 toughness creature, so rarely did it actually get a kill, but it did mill 1 player out, so that was pretty cool, and it was always a lightning rod for removal. Yeah, the triple twist reality, glimmer burst nonsense, the surgical sweep played well with the potential Mind Skinner. That last game, surgical sweep probably would have played even better if I just did not counter their first removal spell and did just have the sweep to pick up a surveillance later. But I mean, I'll take it. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about how awful I played if I got the boxes. That's good enough. 6-1. Whatever mistakes we had there in the past year. We got the boxes. We did the thing, and that's gonna end the Arena Direct runs for Duskmourn for me. Let's claim a couple booster boxes of Duskmourn, and we're going to have that nice little token denoting our prizes sitting there in Arena for a little while now. But yeah, that does it. Feels great. That is the last competitive event for a little while. Now we get to variety draft season. So if you're interested in seeing some more videos like this, we've got some cool stuff in the future, even if it's not going to be competitive for a little while. We have the return of Outlaws of Thunder Junction drafts, as well as March of the Machine drafts and Chromatic Cube drafts. So a lot of variety drafts these next 2 weeks. And then, of course, the launch of Aether Drift. So you're interested in seeing the newest format being played as well as I can from day one, I will be doing that. And if they're doing an early access event for Aether Drift again this time around, you can bet I will be doing everything I can to bring you videos from that as well. So that's what we've got in the near future. But as for now, they haven't announced the next Arena Open or Arena Directs time frame. So who knows when we'll be doing another one of these super competitive events. But this was still a great way to end this one. And this was a pretty good weekend of Magic when you top it off with this. We were hitting rock bottom though last draft, that 0-2 run right before this. The sanity was down in the dumps, and this just picked it right back up, and I'm back to loving Magic again. But as for now, that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for supporting this channel, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more of these videos in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below, and if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.